Locked up in the Tower of London.
I love history, especially when I have a chance to look around dark, damp old dungeons and check out gruesome stuff like torture chambers and... well, you get the idea. So here I am at the Tower of London. My uncle's a Beefeater, one of the special Yeoman Warders. He's always telling me about the famous prisoners at the tower, so I've come on a tour to check the place out for myself. You might be asking, what's a Yeoman Warder? Well, they're the special guards who live and work at the tower, protecting the monarch and their property. You'd recognise their red uniforms, but did you know they're real soldiers? They have to have served for over 22 years to be able to apply for the job. And because in the past they were close to royalty, they had the best bits of beef to eat. Some say that's why they're also called Beefeaters. Can you hear that? Scottish bagpipes. Talking of royalty reminds me of a Scottish king named John Balliol, who ended up spending time here when it was more of a palace than a prison. It's one of my uncle's favourite stories. He said John made himself quite at home. Let's follow the sound. You never know where it might take us.
John Balliol, you shall be quartered here.
Brilliant! It's the Scottish king, and he's in trouble. My uncle says the English king wanted him to join the war against France, but he refused, and that he even wanted to join the French against the English. That was not going to go down well.
Or perhaps, sire, I should call you Tomb Tabard.
Tomb Tabard.
I hear that's what your people are calling you. Empty shirt, nothing but a traitor to King Edward.
Had England treated us as friends and not subjects, I may not have to be put in such a position, but this is of no concern to you. My quarters, if you will.
Here we go.
I suppose it shall have to suffice.
He doesn't know how lucky he is. This room is really luxurious, with tapestry and comfortable couches, and a fire in the fireplace.
You must, however, make sure there's sufficient room for my servants.
As you wish, sire. Who might we expect?
Well, there's my chaplain, Lord William de Froxfeld, my servant Richard, and of course my butler John Clyware. All must have quarters.
We shall see they have lodgings.
Don't forget my treasurer Gantroni, and Lord William's clerk Henry.
So that's 2 more. Very well.
Then there's my barber, my tailor Adam, and then the grooms.
Grooms?
For the horses, of course. We bring 2 horses and 3 grooms. Oh, and 2 squires, as befits my station.
Where exactly do you propose to go on a horse, sire?
That's none of your concern. And you're not to forget that I also bring a cook, a porter, and my laundress.
Well, I suppose you're entitled to be clothed and fed.
And not forgetting my carter, a miller, a hunter, and page.
Now, look here, you are not going hunting.
Plus, of course, my 2 greyhounds.
Do you propose to chase down the ravens, or perhaps the rats? There's nothing else to hunt here at the tower.
And be sure to account for my entitlement to 10 running dogs, if you please.
And a partridge in a pear tree. This place is certainly more of a palace than a prison for John. I expect the special treatment is because he was the King of Scotland, even though he had fallen out with the English king.
Well, for all your entourage, I dare say you will find it hard here. The fires don't burn as long, nor is the food the sort to which you've become accustomed.
Yes, he's not looking too happy, even with a massive entourage to cheer him up. John didn't have to stay very long before he was released, and he lived the rest of his life in France. His time at the tower was very different to others. Not tortured or mistreated at all. And he hung on to his head. The tour's moving on, so I better move too. Catch you later.
Locked up in the Tower of London with support from historic royal palaces. Find out more at funkidslive.com/tower.